Shalom. Wilderness during the Great Tribulation in Bible prophecy. The only place of safety will be in the wilderness. It's great to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, but we must not ignore the prophets. Yahuah said in Luke 16:16, "The law and the prophets were until John. Since that time, the kingdom of Elohim has been preached." So since that time, the kingdom already, past tense, have been preached. And it says, and everyone is pressing to it. That's what we must be pressing toward right now, the law and the prophets. We press hard toward the law, but not the prophets. And as a result, we err, not knowing Bible prophecy. In 2nd Ezra 16:40 and 41, it says, "O my people, hear my word. Be as pilgrims upon the earth." So right here we're being instructed to be as pilgrims. Now, let me give you that definition of pilgrims. It's a person who travels, especially a long distance, to a holy place. And we understand that holy place that we should travel from and to. That holy place is no other than the wilderness, in his holy land, within his borders. It says, "He that sells, let him be as he that flees away." So right here we're being shown that if you him that sell, let him be as he that flees away. So we're getting an indication that we should be selling and fleeing. And he that buys, listen to this, he that buys as one that will lose. So if you're buying right now, if you're buying a house, if you're buying a car, you're buying land, you're buying possessions, you're buying right now, you're going to lose it. And that the Great Tribulation is the reason you're going to lose it. I have to do another video on that to show what's going to happen during the Great Tribulation. But this one is dealing with the wilderness during the Great Tribulation. So I'm going to read here Revelations 12. I'm going to skip around a little, but Revelations 12:1 reads like this: "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars." And verse 5, "And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to Elohim and to his throne." So we know who this is. This is Yahuah right here. "And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she have a place prepared of Elohim, and there they should feed her there 1,260 days." So we're talking approximately 3.5 years. I'm gonna skip here. The dragon was cast out, the serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. Satan, that's who he is. He's just the deceiver of the whole world. He was cast into the earth. Skip here. Okay, once he's cast to the earth, it says, "Rejoice you in the heaven, ye in the heavens, and who dwell in them. But woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have a short time." And when the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the child. And it says, "And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness." So here we're seeing this woman given wings of eagle, great wing of eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness. And that fly, remember from a previous video, to flee means take flight. And if you haven't seen those videos, you really need to see them. You'll be a little lost here. Flee into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time, a times, and half a time. Um, from the face of the serpent. Must put that in there because this is what going into the wilderness is about. Is being hidden from the face of the serpent. Okay, watch closely here in 15 and 16. And the serpent was cast, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. And this water, he deceived the world, so he's a father of lies. So that flood was lies, and he that he might cause her to be carried away in the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let me read this last verse here. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So he's going to go back. Once the woman fled into the wilderness, that portion of Israel goes into the wilderness, there will be a group that will not make it into the wilderness. And they're going to be commandment keepers, but they just didn't flee into the wilderness. And he's going to come back to make war with them. Okay, I must touch on the earth opening her mouth. Let me show you that. Some of you may or may not have ever seen this before, but I'm coming from, this is 2nd Baruch 6, and I'm going to read 6 through 10. And it reads, For I am first sent to speak a word to the earth, and to place in it what Yahuah the Most High has commanded me. And I saw him descend into the Holy of Holies, and take from there the veil, the holy ark, and the mercy seat, and the 2 tables, and the holy raiment of the priests, and the altar of incense, and the 48 precious stones, wherewith the priest was adorned, and all the holy vessels of the tabernacle. And he spoke to the earth with a loud voice. This is what he spoke to the earth with a loud voice. Earth, 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 hear the word of the mighty Elohim, and receive what I command to you, and guard them until the last times, so that when you are ordered, you may restore them, so the strangers may not get possession of them. So this word was for the earth to keep and to hold and restore it, to keep away from the strangers, that they may possess it. It says, for the times to come when Jerusalem also will be delivered for a time, until it is said that it is again restored forever. So he's going to keep it until the restoration forever. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up. So the word that it received, it opened its mouth and it swallowed it up. And that word was those hidden books that was found later on, and it was meant for those that awaken in the last days. Now I'm going to go to Ezekiel 20, and I'm going to read 33 through 44. As I live, says Yahuwah Elohim, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out, I will rule over you. I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein you were scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face. So again, he's going to plead with his people in the wilderness just as before, face to face. Verse 36, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, said Yahuwah Elohim. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. So he's going to make us go back under the rod, and that means we're going to go back under the covenant of old. And that covenant being, if you sin a sin, you shall die. That's just, some people believe that, we're in this grace period. And I'm gonna say this: they believe we in this grace period, and that if you sin, then you won't be stoned because of grace. But let me tell you something. I don't believe that grace period. Grace simply means favor. You can look that word up. I truly believe the only reason we're not being killed because we sin is because there's no one to bring that to pass, or there's no one to enforce that law. So Israel scattered. Who is going to enforce that law? No one has enforced that law, but in the wilderness, it will be enforced again. And so my thing is this: if there's a grace period, why is it cut off in the wilderness? It's something you just have to ask yourself. Why will grace be cut off in the wilderness? Grace should be grace, and it should apply in the wilderness if that's be the case. Okay, where did I stop? I will cause you to go under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, but they shall not enter the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am Yahuah. As for you, O house of Israel, thus says Yahuah Elohim, go ye, serve ye, every one his idols. And hereafter also, if ye will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name, no more with your gifts and with your idols. 40. For in my holy mountain, in the mountain of the heights of Israel, said Yahuah Elohim, there shall all the house of Israel, in all the land, serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offerings. So he's going to require offerings, first fruits, and oblations again, and with your holy things. I will accept you with your sweet savor when I bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries wherein ye have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathens. And ye shall know that I am Yahuah, when I shall bring you into the land of Israel, into the country for which I lift up my hand to give to your fathers. And there ye shall remember your ways and your doings, wherein ye have defiled, and ye shall loathe yourself in your own sight for all your evils that ye have committed. For ye shall know that I am Yahuah, when I have wrought with you for my name's sakes, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doings, O ye house of Israel, said Yahuah. I think that would, hold on a moment. Okay, I'm going to go on for the sake of time. All right, I'm going to read Zechariah 13, 8 and 9. And it shall come to pass in all the land, saith Yahuah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So 2/3 will be cut off. 2/3 of Israel will be cut off in the wilderness. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, this is my people, and they shall say Yahuah is my Elohim. So here we're seeing that, all this name fighting, we shouldn't even be fighting over the names. I'm far past the name fighting. We're all going to know his name, and it doesn't matter who's right. It doesn't matter who's wrong, who's right. Just come together.